Hey guys, OG Albine here, bringing you guys our BBR Season 4 Week 2 battle against Grandmaster D-Ray and his SoCal Annihilation. Now, I know that it actually says Arkansas Pig Knights, still 3D Arcade's team down there. Long story short, I went to go make my Teambuilder slides last night, then we had a big power outage where I'm from, and so I had to jump on this morning and get them up quick so that I could get these made for you guys so the video can go up on time. And then realized afterwards that I forgot to change it to D-Ray's team at the bottom. I'm not going to go ahead and remake the slides, so you're going to have to use your imagination when it comes to the actual matchup. I'll go ahead and read it off, but we're not playing 3D Arcade. But yeah, with that being said, go check out D-Ray in the description below, all the other codes and all that stuff. And then, of course, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys do enjoy today's Draft League Wi-Fi battle. We're on our way to 2,000 subs, and I would really appreciate it if you help me out along that goal. And yeah, with that being said, you can also go ahead and skip ahead to the battle. There's a timestamp on the screen as well as in the description below on when that starts. So if you don't want to see the team builder, you can go ahead and skip ahead to that. Alrighty, with that being said, we can go ahead and jump on into it. Our team, if you did forget, is at the top of the screen, and it's correct, and it consists of Roaring Moon, which is Terra Steel, Annihilate, Slowking, Titan, Klefki, the Dunsparce, Clodsire, Volcarona, Serena, and Electrode, while our opponent's team is not at the bottom of the screen, but it does consist of Palafin, which is Terra Water, Iron Moth, Baxcalibur, Sylveon, Crocodile, Rotom-Mow, Fortress, Pincurchin, Hawlucha, and Pig Grumpig. Now, biggest threats to me, off-rip. Palafin is obviously very scary. There's a lot of different variants that he can go with that really scare me, and I feel like I have a pretty good Palafin matchup, which shows how scary that thing is. But I did have to build very particularly with my team in order to make sure that I could not only check Palafin, but all of the other threats, including the Iron Moth. That Pokemon, I can't really use my Slowking to check it because, spoilers, it's going to be my, my Palafin check, because Bulk Up and like Ice Punch, things like that, just bully through Water Absorb Clodsire. So we're going to have to be very, very careful about that thing. But again, we do have a pretty solid check. Baxcalibur is the Pokemon that I am the most scared of. I am absolutely terrified of like a Swords Dance, Flave Rush, Ice Shard, Earthquake set. Like, I am absolutely petrified. I think if he brings that, it's very tough for us to win. Incredibly tough for us to win, but I think we have a team that's kind of structured to at least slow it down and put us in a position where we can stop it the first time, and then we just have to not let it set up a second time, which, you know, would be pretty bad on my end, obviously. Crocodile is another Pokemon I do not have switch-ins to. Close combat plus it stabs just hits my entire team incredibly hard, so we have to be very, very careful about that thing. Hawlucha can always get out of hand, and then he has some annoying defensive backbone pieces like Sylveon and Fortress. Pincurchin setting up the terrain for his Iron Moth and things like that. So again, just got to be very careful. First up, though, we do have our Roaring Moon, rocking out the heavy-duty boots, Photosynthesis as its ability, Crunch, Iron Head, Roost, and U-Turn. We are just max attack, max speed with a jolly nature. Now, EVs-wise, it's pretty simple what this is going for. We're just max outspeed Lucha, and I know and I understand it can be under terrain, and it's probably not going to be max jolly, but I consider Lucha as big enough of a threat to make sure that if I do get a Thunder Wave off on it later, which I do have a Pokemon with extra Thunder Wave in the back, spoilers, I want this to be able to outspeed it and Terra Steel and hit it with a really, really hard Iron Head, and hopefully be able to revenge it. So this is one of my contingency plans to that. There's also pivot into Crocodile if we need it. Terra Steel, Iron Head is going to do a ridiculous amount of things like Baxcalibur, and we can get a U-turn and grab momentum this game for the rest of our team to really thrive. This isn't really the main win con or breaking piece like it was like last week, but it should facilitate the rest of our offense very well. Speaking of the rest of our offense, we have our Annihilate here, rocking out with Defiant as its ability, Leftovers as its item, Drain Punch, Rage Fist, Bulk Up, and Taunt. EVs wise, we are now rocking with 108 HP, 68 attack, 92 defense, 4 speed F, and 236 speed with a jolly nature. We can basically take a Glaive Rush at +1. With this bulk, or if we have a Reflect Up, a +3 Glaive Rush, which is also really scary. But this thing is very, very bulky, and we kind of have this thing EV to lift those hits. We outspeed Baxcalibur as well, so we can always taunt it, which is a really nice thing. And then we have that rest level 68 left over in our attack. There's another Pokemon that does incredibly well and can really run away with this game if it's given the opportunity to. He does not appreciate this Pokemon once it starts bulking up. Things like Solarona, I keep calling it that because that's what his nickname for it is, but things like Iron Moth can really come in and threaten us out and revenge us. Sylveon can also be pretty scary, but we can shoot that thing down pretty considerably, I think, with our team. And yeah, that is going to be big Annihilate. Next up, offense number 3. This is going to be Volcarona. Volcarona has an incredible matchup this week, rocking out with Fire Dance, Bug Buzz, Quiver Dance, and Psychic. Flame Body is our ability. EVs wise, he got 68 HP, 244 special attack, and 196 speed with a timid nature. EVs wise, we live two Iron Moth hits, which is nice. And then we are Creeping Crook, have the rest in our special attack. And yeah, this thing is just an incredible breaker and potential win con if we can get rid of that Palafin. Obviously, it can revenge us with Drain Punch or Jet Punch. And same thing with Hawlucha. Hawlucha kind of has to be out of the picture if he brings it. But other than that, man, at +1, we can kind of just win this game with this thing. It goes absolutely buck wild. And even if it's not setting up, just clicking attacks with this thing is very much so worthwhile. And there's definitely a lot of setup targets as well. So, and we should live a boom from like non-adamant fortresses as well. Alrighty, now we're on to our fatter portion of the team where we're rocking out with Slowking, with Future Sight, Grass Knot, Slack Off, and Psychic. Our heavy duty boots, EV and Regenerator as their ability, obviously. We got 244 HP, 212 defense, and 52 speed def with a bold nature. EVs wise, we live 2 electric terrain discharges, and then we're going to have the rest in our defense just to live hits from that Palafin as well as possible. So we're a little bit mixed defensive, but nothing crazy. So we still soft check things like the Solarona, and other things like that, but we're mainly here to check that Palafin, which is big, really, really important. Same thing, reason we have Grass Knot to do as much damage as possible to that. No Water Stab this week because Grass Knot also hits the Crocodile very hard. Future Sight is going to be very annoying for him to pivot around, especially in conjunction with hazards and the rest of our team hitting hard and things like that. So that's obviously great. And this is mostly to check what I think he's kind of forced into bringing in, like a bulk up Palafin or something like that. If he's like a Jet Punch, Ice Punch variant, he really can't break us. And honestly, unless he's like Fling, he really doesn't have a way to break through us with Slowking into that Palafin. So this thing should be a great check to that. While it soft checks other things on his team, we can live Caliber hits potentially. We can live a Solarona hit like we talked about. Same thing with Hawlucha. We soft check that thing. I think we live a +2 hit. And the boots is just to make sure that we can stay out of range consistently in the face of something like Fortress setting up a bunch of spikes, or Pincursion setting up a bunch of spikes, Solarona setting up T-spikes, because I think it gets that. That's especially a really important one into like a sub bulk up Palafin. So yeah, this thing's going to be a great check, physically defensive to everything. And then our Spadef check to pretty much everything, and Clodsire rocking out with Earthquake, Poison Jab, Recover, and Stealth Rocks. We are max HP, max Spadef, Unaware. This is going to be our Solarona check. Now, for those of you who don't know, Unaware does interact pretty weird with Photosynthesis and Quark Drive in the sense that it actually doesn't block it, right? So like even if I'm unaware and he gets that Quark Drive in a special attack, it's still going to be calculated into the damage. But Clodsire is so damn bulky on the Spadef side that we actually live 2 Quark Drive boosted Psychics, and then from there, like Fiery Dance boost and things like that will not matter. So really we just have to make sure that we live those 2 Quark Drive boosted Psychics, and with max Spadef, even after like a spike with our Black Sludge, we should do so, which is obviously very nice. So we are a great check to that thing. We can check other things as well, like the Pincursion, we wall, the Rotom Mow, we wall. We have to be careful not get tricked. We check the heck out of Sylveon unless it's Side Shock, and even then that doesn't do the most if he's not very invested or like Calm Mind or something like that. It's going to be a great rocker, and it's going to be a big nuisance to his team. So this thing is mainly here to form a very solid defensive core with Slowking. Alright, and then lastly, we do have our Klefki, kind of the cherry on top of this team. If you saw so far, we are very weak to said Caliber, and this is kind of my contingency plan against it. While Klefki does not wall Caliber in any sense of the word, we should be able to at least slow it down in this instance. We're rocking out with Dazzling Gleam, Spikes, Reflect, and Thunder Wave. We're as physically defensive as possible to try and take hits from those Caliber hits, like, +1 Earthquakes. We can always switch in, take a +1 Earthquake pretty darn well, Thunder Wave it and pair it or something like that, even if he's Lum at that point. I'll be able to Thunder Wave him again the next turn. And if we get off a Thunder Wave, we can also Reflect the turn afterwards, and again, really set up the rest of our team to be able to live hits from the Caliber, potentially force it out or revenge kill it, and then be fine against it later on. I understand this isn't a long-term answer. If he catches me with an Earthquake, I'm actually pretty screwed on the switch in. It makes it a little bit more iffy, but I can always Thunder Wave and force him out, get up a Reflect, do a bunch of different things to hopefully be able to stop that thing from running through my team. That's basically what it's going to be here to do. It also soft checks the Hawlucha. Again, I'll be able to Thunder Wave it so that my Roaring Moon can outspeed it and revenge it after terrain. Reflect is literally just here to slow down that Bax. Spikes is just great. Spikes are spikes, and Fortress is not a very good spinner into me, being that I have Annihilate, and then we obviously have Gleam for our stab option. But yeah, that's going to be the team. Be right back with the matchup. Alrighty guys, here we are with the battle. We're connected with Mr. Daniel. We see no Caliber, which is insane, by the way. I thought that Mon absolutely did me dirty, but we're going to see a Palafin. We're going to see... I almost typed in Volcarona, but that's Iron Moth. Thanks, Gen 9. We have Iron Moth. We got Sylveon. We got a Fortress. We got a Pincursion. And we got a Hawlucha. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stick to my lead. We're going to lead off with Roaring Moon. And we're going to go from there. Perfect. So, yeah. I'm kind of wishing I was Mixed Flamethrower with my Roaring Moon, because I feel like he got just done dirty by it, right? But not that big of a deal. Sylveon doesn't have Mystical Fire this gen, so it realistically can't beat me very well once I Terra. Like, it doesn't have a great way of hitting me, even if he goes Moonblast for my Throat Chop. I really think he's gonna be, 4-y, but not that big of a deal. It's okay. We got this. Good luck, have fun to D-Ray. And yeah, we'll go from here. Now, I'm not gonna Terra immediately, because if I can keep that water resistance for a little bit, I'm okay with that. Right? I don't want to gain a water resistance. Or a water neutrality. So I'll probably stay un-Terra'd until absolutely necessary, as my defensive typing is actually pretty okay. In this matchup in particular. Until I need, like, actual offensive damage output, then I think I'll change. Or I'll go ahead and Terra. Splash! Splish splash. So, honestly, what do I want to do here? I think I'm pretty okay just dropping a U-turn, right? Yeah, he's going to hard withdraw. You know what? 4-y probably, right? Rock. We're going to see a 4-y come in. Is it going to be Helmet? What is it going to be? We get good momentum. Don't do that much. He is Helmet, so that's good to know. But we get a Volcarona, and we get a lot of damage on something. Like, he quite simply does not deal with Volk. He might even stay into Boom or something like that. If he goes Palafin, that's just great chip for me, you know? I don't really have to worry about that. So we're going to go ahead and Fire Dance. No reason not to. If he wants to give me this ASAP, I will take it. And we're not going to think too heavy about it. He's going to withdraw. Ow. He's going to go hard Pineapple. Take it. Yeah, I'll take it. We're going to see a Fire Dance pop. Get a boost. Oh yeah, baby. Now, is it in my best interest to just attack and Fire Dance, as he might go ahead and switch out on a Volt Switch? I think so. I'm going to Bug Buzz on some weird pivot into, like, Palafin. I should be able to claim a kill here. If he goes hard Palafin, he's just going to drop probably, right? Solarona. Okay. Iron Moth in Electric Terrain. With a Sludge Wave. Well, 50. Doesn't do that much, but I'm going to go ahead and pivot Clodsire, as this is my check. And that's unrecoverable chip. Let's go. Actually, it does do a lot, because I wasn't putting any special attack in, so I'm glad I switched. That wouldn't have been good. We're going to get hard out into Claude. Because we are Spadef. If he wants a Psychic and call me on it, good stuff, but I don't think he can really afford to, right? I think he's going to Sludge Wave. Discharge. Yeah, see, he expected the Slowking. What this allows me to do is it allows me to pretty freely get up my rocks. If he wants to go Fortress and get up his own rocks, whatever, that's fine. Or spin my rocks away. I still get free hard Volk, and I get to damage something coming in. So I'm okay with this exchange. He either spins and gives me a ton of damage on something, or, you know, something of the sorts. Stones. I also want to check something. Terrain's 1 out of 5. So it'll end this next turn unless he's Terrain Extender, and that'll be good information to know. But here we come, Volk. And he can Volt if he wants. But again, it's not the biggest deal in the world to me. I can also use Klefki pretty liberally, too, to check the Hawlucha, or at least T-Wave it. Which is nice. He's gonna get up his own rocks. That's fine, though. I'm, like, mono boots on anything that wants to deal with rocks, so I'm okay with that. He is Terrain Extender, then. He is. Okay. Now, do I want a Psychic here? I think I'm just going to say Fiery Dance. He's going to withdraw. I wish I Psychicked. I kind of wish I Fiery Danced on a mid-ground, but it's all good. He's going to take Rocks plus Fiery Dance, which is always good for me. Like, this isn't bad. You underwent a Heroic Transformation. This one is an absolute demon into our team, so we have to be very careful about how we deal with it. That does a lot, though. He is leftover, so I'm presuming he's the bulk up set. Which, honestly, is fine with me. Because Slowking checks the hell out of that. I didn't think he would be the bulk up set. Maybe if he's like Jet Punch, Ice Punch, bulk up, taunt? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see, though. I'm gonna go hard Slowking. He's probably gonna bulk up. He's gonna withdraw. Okay, into what? Solarona. Fine. He boots. He is not. I have no reason to take this damage. I know D-Ray could stay in here, and there's no reason for me to take this damage, so I'm going to go hard out into my check. So that's what we're going to do. Him taking rocks on that is great. Again, now we know he's not... Now we know he's choice. Or not choice. Now we know he's not boots, sorry. I have no idea if he's choice. That's not nice. That's not a smart thing to say. But E-Terrain does not 2-hit KO me. He's gonna Psychic. Fine. Do eat it up. 129. Fork Dry Warp off. Perfect. We're gonna just recover. I got no reason not to. I got no reason not to. So, I mean, I could have stayed in there. It was a pretty aggressive read from D-Ray. But it's not that big of a deal. Again, I'm going to go hard Volk. He can get up a spike. He can even boom, but then no more Fortress, and Moon goes buck wild, right? So we'll see. I really wish I was Flamethrower now instead of Roost. I brought Roost because, like, it was a crook pivot, kinda. But oh well. Not that big of a deal. If he spins away my rocks, I can get him back up. So whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, big burn, baby! No, no, no! Punished, my friend. Punished. Now my Moon beats at 1v1 very easy, too. Because I burned him, like, he does not take me on very well. Again, I'm just gonna Fiery Dance. I have no reason not to. I'm not in a position where I need to predict right now. Like, I can call his switch out. Another thing I could see him doing is just booming at this point. But, like, I can call him switching out, but I just physically don't need to. You know? He's thinking, D-Ray said, we're gonna go to timer. Yeah, because you're taking fucking long, dude. Click a button. Gosh. Okay. Pineapple. No more pineapple. I like the electric surge animation this time. That's really cool. So, we don't get the kill. Is it in my best interest to pivot out here? Honestly, I think it is. As dumb as that sounds, I don't want to let in Lucha for free, because Lucha forces me to take a ton of damage on Slowking, and, I'm in a bad spot. Whereas Claude can at least soft check it, I can get up rocks again, too. And I don't think he's as likely to go hard Lucha on it, you know? He's gonna Memento. Okay. Now I have a pretty free Klefki pivot on the Lucha, I think. We're gonna be able to see what he is, too. I just didn't want to let, like, super free Lucha set up. We're gonna see Seed. We do see a Seed. Okay. So, no more item. Unburden. Level 50. I am curious as if it does 2-hit KO Claude if he's adamant. And being that there is no type of answer, what do you call it? No type of Baxcalibur, sorry. I feel pretty comfortable making this Klefki pivot and letting Klefki take this big damage. I'll take a CC as well. Okay. Sub comes out. That's fine. We're gonna Gleam. And Gleam into T-Wave makes it to where Moon outspeeds, and I can knock him out with a Terra Steel Iron Head. Let's check, actually, how much we do when we become... Drain Punch. I'll take it. Cool. I mean, that did nothing. So we break this thing sub. And again, now it won't have its Unburden coming in again. Which is nice. Now, it still is threatening offensively if he decides to save it here. Regardless, I'm going to T-Wave. If Fortress comes in, I'm not super worried about it. He is going to stay in. Perfect. Perfect. Amazing. Incredible, in fact. Para. Let's go, baby! I'm just... I'm just going to Gleam. As obvious as the Fortress pivot... Okay, bulk up. What? You're bulk up? Okay, that's not good. I think we're okay, though. Because I think we kill. Through his Drain Punch. I'm pretty sure we do. And at least Last Ditch, I can... Oh, yeah, we do. Another thing I could have done is I could have reflected Last Ditch, and then gone to Slowking and taken minimal damage, because he's only +1. He wasn't Sword Stance, so this is good that he wasn't SD. We take out the Lucha, which was a big, big threat to our team. Huge threat, in fact. Something I can do, if Moth comes in, I'm just gonna spike up. So, Pincurchin's down, Lucha's down. Moth comes in, I just spike. Yeah. I got no reason to not spike. Because again, Claude takes it on perfectly. So I'm not super worried about it. Even like crit psychic in each terrain does not take me off. So we're gonna go for it. He's definitely thinking right now. I have not checked the time yet, but I feel like we're not doing great. So we'll get up a spike. Worst comes to worst, his Fortress might have to spin, which is good momentum for me, like forcing him into a spin. We're gonna go down to a Fiery Dance, which is fine. Even if he gets a boosty boost. Yeah, we're good. Actually, I can spin block him. I can just go ape. So that boost is fine. Again, we are unaware. Electricity's going to disappear, so now the Psychic's going to absolutely bounce off. And we have the freest Earthquake of all time. Like, the absolute freest Earthquake of all time. So that's what we're going to go for. We're going to show that we're unaware here, but I think it was pretty self-explanatory, showing that this was my Swadef pivot in, and I've been going Slowking on the, what do you call it? But we're just going to Earthquake. We are just going to Earthquake. No reason not to. If he wants to save this, he can. He's also, like, dangerously close to losing to Annihilate. So we're just gonna throw off this EQ. He's gonna switch it and save it, so we do have to save our Claude. Very good here. Brock comes out. And another... yeah, I'm just gonna go hard ape here. I have no reason not to. Oh, this thing's getting chipped. So he's shown spin, rocks, probably volt, if I had to assume. But, like, the more he damages me, the more my ape goes fucking buck wild on him. So I'm okay with him attacking here. Like, I would actually rather you not try and spin and attack me. The Cassiopeia battle theme is also a banger. Pokemon just does not miss with their music. They do not miss with their music. We're just gonna go ape. Okay, is he gonna attack? Oh, that's fine. So that is 100 base power. I'm gonna write it down somewhere so I can keep track of myself on a notepad. I'm gonna put 100. That's where our Rage Fist is at now. It's an annoying thing about this. I feel like I have to keep track of it every single time. Beyonce! That's big Sylveon. We're at 100 now. Obviously I'm not going to stay in here. He can baton pass if he wants, but I feel pretty comfortable going into Clodsire. I don't think there's, like, really anything this guy can do to me. Maybe Psyshock. But, again, I'm not super worried. He also showed leftovers, too, which is another interesting thing. And I'm going to get my rocks. Hazard stack or be hazard stack to Daniel. Wish? What are you going to wish up? Honestly, I don't really think I need to rock up. I'm just gonna poison jab and beta poison on something. Like, because if he goes Fortress, I don't lose anything, right? I think I'll just stay in and try and rock. If he goes into Palafin, I can beta poison on it, which is so clutch for me. Iron Moth is not coming in. So, like, I think jab is just, yeah, jab is just my best play, because I can beta poison here. Whereas rocks aren't super important right now. So, we're gonna jab. Give me a poison. Okay. Wish is gonna come true. We got 5 minutes left about, which is nice. Another thing to note is I can always take a hit from full from the Palafin when it's, like, bulked up. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Sub. He's sub bulk up. I don't think you beat me. I'm Grass Knot too. Does more damage. I'm pretty sure my Slowking takes us on really well. We're just gonna slack off. Gonna bulk up? Yeah. Into, what's this thing's name? Why am I forgetting it? Palafin. Palafin Hero. Okay, I was like, dude, if that doesn't break sub, I might be in some trouble. But we're good. Grass Knot. Let's draw. Man, this is fine. I'm really not worried right now. I'm really not worried right now. He takes another spike. So he can't touch me then, is what I'm getting from that. So I just need to not throw this Pokemon away and let it get, like, discharge paired or something like that. Like, Claude obviously takes this thing on. So I don't really have to worry. Another thing, too, is, like, I have my Roaring Moon to outspeed and revenge this thing, too. There's another thing to keep in mind. Bug Buzz. Also, he could... Why are you not discharged? Or what? Is he discharged? He might be. I don't know. Earthquake. I have no reason. I had no reason not to. It goes Brock. Brock. I get my rocks. Unless this dies, which it might. Clodsire putting in the utmost this week. Goodness gracious. I can also ensure my spike stays up. But I don't think he's gonna spin. I think spin is such a bad play. Because I just went, yeah, I'm gonna get my rocks. I mean, if this doesn't... He does spin. No! But my rocks are better, actually. So it's fine. Rocks are better than a spike. So I'd rather have my rock. Give me rock. I can always spam rocks. Thank God I'm slower, right? Why is he not min speed? Would he just not be slower than me? How slow is Clodsire? I'm actually curious if min speed 4 just is slower. It is not. Wait. It's actually a speed tie, so maybe I got lucky. Speed tie there. I should have gone min speed Clodsire for that, but like that's also like a hindsight thing. Not that big of a deal. So 4 is gonna go down. I got upper spiky. I really think he should have brought back Excalibur. I think that mon put on so much offensive pressure. We're gonna go Slowking. We got our booties on. We got our booties on. I'm pretty sure he's Jet Punch, Ice Punch. Bonk! That did nothing. I'm just gonna Psychic. Yeah, he just couldn't break through this core. I think he's gonna lose to time, though, because he took too long. This is so annoying. See, this is why this rule sucks, BBR admin team, because I would win 5-0 here. D-Ray has no out. But now I'm gonna win I'm gonna win 3-0? Whack. It's so whack. It's so whack. Because he took the line. It was his fault. I hate it here. A whack rule. Grass Knot doesn't kill anyways from here. I know he can't touch me at this point, too. So, I think he's just saving diff. I don't think there's anything he can do here now. I mean, I guess Timer at least secures my win in case some shit just goes horribly wrong. But it's not Pog. Not Pog at all, in fact. I would dare to say negative Pog. Oh, the game's over. Well, good game to D-Ray. I win 3-0. That's unfortunate. I really think we 5-0'd there. So we're going to lose out on some pretty important diff. Could have been really... Oh, he just goes back to his regular form. GG's to D-Ray. Again, I know that's 2 games in a row to Timer, but I was clicking so fast, guys. There was maybe 2 turns I took more than 10 seconds. Like, there's not much I could do with this Timer. D-Ray was taking a little bit longer, which I get it. He wasn't taking, like, an incredible amount of time, too. Like, right? He wasn't just absolutely stalling the shit out of me. But it's frustrating because I would like to get a 5-0 win opposed to a 3-0 win. But I'm not going to. And now I have, again, still bad diff. Especially after week 1, we'd be 2-0 plus 7 instead of 2-0 plus 3. So that's a... Wait. 2-0 plus... We're 2-0 plus 3 right now. So if we got a 2-0 win last week, and then a 5-0 win... 7. Counting. But regardless, I'm okay. I'm happy with getting a win. You know, I can't complain too much. We did end up winning. We're moving to 2-0 in the season, which is great. I was not super confident in this matchup. I think No Back's Caliber, like, saved my ass big time. So, I'll take it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like. You're here, so